Hello BookTube, my name is Kate and this is my channel chaptercviii. Today I am bringing you a brand new announcement video. I feel like I haven't made an announcement video in a while, which is just so unlike me. This announcement is for an upcoming readathon for the entire month of September. And the theme of this readathon is monsters. So this is the 2019 first annual MONSTERathon. Now you may be wondering why I'm not doing the MONSTERathon in October because it's Halloween and all that stuff, but the truth is, honestly, that there's so many readathons in October, it's overwhelming. Also, my life in October is usually overwhelming, so we're not doing that. So think of this as a Halloween pregame. Plus, October is never long enough to read all the books that you want to read. They have all the awesome monsters and weird, scary, spooky stories that you love. The MONSTERathon is going to be a competitive readathon because honestly, everyone loves those, so this is what we're doing. However, we're only going to be having 3 teams, and these teams are the Beasts, the Haunts, and the Conspiracies. Each team will have 2 team leaders. The 2 leaders of the Haunts are Justin from Ghost Reader and Leah from Where in the World is Leah Jane. The Conspiracies will be led by Sarah from Novel Serendipity and Noria from Noria Reads. And then there are the Beasts, which are led by myself, Kate from chaptercviii, and then Cecilia from That Disney Chick. Those in the winning team will have the chance to win a copy of My Favorite Thing is Monsters by Emil Ferris. This is a graphic novel that looks like it's made in a giant notebook. And it has a pretty cool art style, so. How can my team win, you may ask? Well, your team can win by terrorizing the most villagers. Yes, instead of points, we're doing villagers terrorized. Sue me. There are a couple of different ways that you can terrorize villagers for your team. The first way is, of course, by reading. Each page equals 1 villager terrorized. The second way is by reading your group's short story. Instead of having an individual book for each team to read, we are going to be reading short stories from the anthology Unnatural Creatures. The stories were selected by Neil Gaiman, but there's a ton of fantasy and science fiction writers that are involved in this book. So each team will have 1 short story to read. If you read your team's short story, that is 200 points, and if you read one of the other team's short story, that is 100 points. The story for the Beasts is The Griffin and the Minor Canon. The story for the Haunts is Come Lady Death, and the story for the Conspiracies is The Spot. It's actually not titled The Spot. Its title is this picture. So, I don't know how to pronounce that. But of course you can read any of the stories in this book to count towards your pages read. And when we have a live show at the end of September, the host will be discussing this book. The next way that you can earn villagers for your team is completing any of the challenges on the list of terrors. These are our reading challenges. There are 10 reading challenges, however, you do not have to complete all of them. You can complete as many as you want. You can also combine challenges. The only thing you can't do is include unnatural creatures towards your reading challenges. The first reading challenge is Classic Creepers, and this is read a book that involves a classic horror creature. It doesn't have to be a horror book, and it doesn't have to be a classic book. It just has to involve a classic horror creature. So, for example, Frankenstein would work, and it is also a classic. However, you can also read a book that has a vampire or a werewolf in it, because those are also considered classic horror creatures. The next reading challenge is What Big Eyes You Have, and this challenge is just to read a book that's over 400 pages. This does not have to be a monster book, it just has to be monster-sized. The third reading challenge is Chimera, and this is to read a book that can fall under multiple genres. I find that with a lot of monster books, this is possible, so when I'm reading a book about ghosts, I'm like, I don't know where to put it. Should I put it under fantasy? Should I put it under paranormal? Should I put it under horror? It's up to you. The fourth challenge is The Real Monsters, and this is read a book featuring some monstrous humans. I might be reading true crime for that one, but it can be really anything. The fifth reading challenge is Unsightly, and this is to read a graphic novel or a manga or a comic book that features monsters. The sixth reading challenge is Angry Mob, and this is to read a book that has been recommended to you by more than one person. The seventh challenge is Sacrifice, and this is to read a book that you've seen in somebody's unhaul video. And then the last 3 challenges pertain to the 3 teams. Any team can do any of these 3 challenges, but the book that you choose is based on the name of the team itself. So the challenge for the Beasts is to read a book that includes a monster with animal or plant qualities. The Haunts is to read a book that has a dead or an undead character. And then the Conspiracies is to read a book that involves aliens, robots, or a monster that you can't quite classify in the other categories. And again, while these are named after the teams, it doesn't matter what team you are in, you can complete any of those 3 challenges. And then the last way to earn villagers for your team is to complete video challenges. There will be 5 video challenges throughout the month of September. The first one is actually prior to the month of September, and that is to post a TBR video. Then there will be 3 challenges that you will find out as we go throughout the month, and then the last challenge is to post a wrap-up video. And for completing any of the video challenges, you will get 300 villagers for your team. I know it's a lot of information, so all of this is going to be on a Google Doc, which will be in the description of this video. I will also put a link to that Google Doc on our Twitter page, which you can find at MONSTERathon. That wasn't taken, which is awesome, because now it is. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. If you want to join, go ahead and click the sign up sheet, which the link is below in the description, and sign up. Pick a team, get your friends to join, fight your friends, get them to choose other teams so you can be competitive with them. I don't care. Pick a team that connects with you. And that's all for this video. If you would like more of this junk, subscribe below. Bye!
Tripping over shadows and I'm drowning